You're listening to 5 Minutes of English with Laura Pickens, a short podcast about the way we actually talk, like for real. How to cook in English. Hi, my name is Laura. I'm an American living in Russia, and today's lesson, I want to start with a story so you can understand the importance of what I would like to show you today. What I want to show you today is how to talk about cooking in English. What you'll find is that there is kind of a difference in the way we describe the techniques of cooking. We have words and cultures from all over the world embedded inside of English. So it also means that we have access to a lot of different cooking techniques as well. And a lot of these phrases and verbs don't translate into Russian easily. So what we'll have is one verb in Russian that can mean a variety of words in English. And I want to demonstrate that to you and why it can be a problem with a story of mine. Years ago, I was hanging out with a good friend of mine who loves American culture, and he said to me, "I really want fried chicken. Will you cook me some fried chicken?" And I thought, are you serious? Because fried chicken is quite a big deal, but I thought, this is my friend, I will do it. I grew up in South Carolina. Southern cooking is the best, and the staple of it is fried chicken. We have to do a lot of steps, and they're all messy. It starts with taking the meat and seasoning it, but then we need to batter it. To batter something means to use a wet dough that you dip it in and then usually fry. Deep fry, and there is a difference. And that batter is usually made with buttermilk, something that I haven't found that exists in Russia, but we have something better, which is kefir. The batter is made out of this kefir, flour, egg, and seasoning. So I batter the chicken and then I dredge it in a dry mix of breadcrumbs and flour, or if you're feeling fancy, panko. And here you have your chicken ready to fry. So what do I mean by fry? I mean deep fry. You want to heat oil in a pan to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. And you want to submerge, meaning completely cover the chicken in hot oil. When we say fried chicken in America, this is what we mean. We mean deep fried, battered chicken. And as I said, it is such a process because you have to clean up all the wet batter. You have to clean up the dirty oil after you're done cooking with it. It's hot, it's dangerous. You need to have some kind of thermometer to make sure that your temperature is right. And you also have to just know when the chicken is done because no one wants to eat undercooked chicken. I underwent all of this for my friend, and he watched me in the kitchen toiling away with a confused look on his face, but he didn't say anything. And an hour and a half later, I presented to him my very best homemade KFC-like fried chicken. And he had a very disappointed look on his face, and he said, "This isn't what I wanted." I got very mad. I said, "This is fried chicken." He said, "No, this is what I want." And he pulled up a picture. What he wanted was rotisserie chicken. Rotisserie chicken is something that you buy at a grocery store. Rotisserie means to rotate. It's the chicken that they make inside grocery stores that spins around slowly cooking on a hot kind of grill. And the reason he wanted that is because it's cheap, it's fast, it's easy, which was the exact opposite of everything I had made. But in Russian, they both mean fried chicken. Now, it was my friend's fault for not saying something earlier, and it's my fault for not clearing that up before I started. But what it gave me is a lesson into the word fry in Russian. So let me just walk you through some different ways that you use the word fry in Russian and what it means in English. One of the most common ways is the word sauté, which is a French word. Sauté means to add a little bit of oil to a hot frying pan and usually to cook off vegetables. If we put a little bit of oil in a frying pan and we heat it very hot and we use it to cook meat for a short amount of time to make the outside of the meat dark and crispy, that is sear. If we're putting a little bit of oil in a pan and we're not putting it very high and we put things like onions in there, it's called to sweat the onions. That means to make the liquid come out of them. If you put something into a hot oven and it's sweet, like cake, that's to bake. But if it's a big piece of meat that you put into an oven to cook slowly for a long period of time, that's roast. If you put something into an oven with a little bit of liquid to cook for quite a bit of time, that's broil. But if you put liquid on the stove and cook it, it's boil. That's just the beginning of my long list of verbs that we use with cooking that I often confuse when I'm trying to understand something in Russian. If you want to explore your culinary horizons and you want to do a recipe in a foreign language, I highly recommend not simply translating the recipe, but find a video and watch the technique that they are doing. And with that, guys, I'm starving. I'm going to go have my lunch. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in next week's podcast.